Good evening and happy Tuesday as we welcome you back to Adena High School for a Tuesday evening SVC matchup between the Adena Warriors and the Unioto Shermans. Along with Shane Combs, my name is Dewey Daly as we welcome you into tonight's coverage. Shane, glad to have you back here in the booth in Frankfort.
Yeah, really excited for this one. I really enjoyed our call the other day. Two good volleyball programs with Adena and South Webster, and then obviously Adena, who has set the standard of SVC and really Southeast District volleyball for quite some time now. Going to welcome this Unioto squad that we were just talking off the air. Going to mix some seniors and sophomores, and you throw a little of that experience, and there was some really good young talent. A lot of people feel like top to bottom, maybe the best roster in the league. I've heard that from some people in the preseason, and you add all that up, and I think we're in for a real good one when it's kind of unique that these two start the league schedule playing one another.
And Shane, you mentioned that last game we hooked up this past Saturday afternoon, Adena taking down South Webster in 4. One of the things we highlighted in between breaks was just the scheduling difference in terms of start time. You had Unioto get, I believe, an 8-day head start to the regular season in front of Adena, and it's just something interesting that I think you see in volleyball. You compared it to starting basketball before or after Thanksgiving, but an 8-day difference, I think that's something that may be exclusive to volleyball when you look at start times throughout the different sports in the athletic calendar.
Yeah, it really is. It seems like the OHSA is giving just a little bit of wiggle room where they're moving up seasons, and like for this year, for example, letting volleyball have that Friday night. I remember baseball, softball, they did the same thing there a year or two back just to give you an extra day to maybe get one in. But I think what happens too, John and I talked about it on Overtime this past week, is it's just a game of math. There's only so many non-league games you're allowed to play, and a lot of these volleyball teams have set, invitationals or tournaments they go to on the weekend. That might be 3 of your non-league matches right there. So you kind of have to have some opening somewhere, and a lot of coaches love that extra practice time to start the year. Other coaches want to get out there and get 3, 4, 5 matches in before league play. No wrong way to do it necessarily. You just have to know your team and go with it.
Now, Shane, diving into tonight's matchup between Adena and Unioto, we'll start with the Warriors. Obviously, we saw them last Saturday, and one of the questions we had in pregame were who were the players that were going to step up and who were the players that were going to step into new and impactful roles for head coach Laura Smith. What answers do you think we got on Saturday?
What's interesting is a lot of the big names that returned are names you expected to be there, in terms of Katie Burns and then Kimmy Dalton and J.C. Smith, but even there, some of those kids are asked to take on new roles. Now Katie Burns playing all the way around. She was involved quite a bit in the serve, receive, and passing game, which I'll touch on, some different things that entails throughout the evening. But then, we went across the front row. You and I were talking about how you never doubt Adena's serve, receive, or passing game or just overall defense, but you wondered where would the rest of the offense come from, especially when Katie Burns was forced to the back row. And I thought one of the biggest answers we got the other day was sophomore J.C. Jones. I thought she was terrific. She was in double digit with kills. And then, across that front row, Addison Wisecup and Caroline Glenn and Peyton Lee Master, there were some kids that jumped out at me that they're not going to get nearly the swings as those other two hitters I've mentioned, but they were pretty efficient in their attempts and did a good job defending the net. So it's like any sport, knowing your role and executing and playing it with great efficiency, and you can really impact the match in a positive way.
Now, Shane, for Unioto, on the offensive side, heavily hit by graduation. They graduated all 5 of their top 5 hitters from last season through 4 games for Unioto. Who have you seen emerge for head coach Patterson?
Yeah, I think really, to your point, that there's a lot of new faces, but they've really got a lot of size and athleticism that maybe they haven't had over the last 2 or 3 years. The one that jumps out, Zoe Detweiler is going to be really good, and she's been solid for him, but I've been real impressed with Charlotte Dennis that's opposite of her there in that particular spot. That's who the libero Alyssa Stanley passes for both of them, and so they're opposite of one another. Detweiler Dennis will always be in the front row for setter Kinsley Batson, and that's really jumped out at me. She's had some really big matches, and then again it's the versatility and the depth of athletes that you'll get. You'll get Kayla White at the net, Ava Patterson at the net, Abby Watson at the net. All of them have impacted some different sets as I've watched Unioto play just about every set they've played so far this year. And when you go back to that schedule at the beginning of the year, I don't think people understood just how good Logan Elm was or is. And because of that, maybe people started to come back off their expectations of Unioto, which was pretty unfair, really. And then as they played South Webster, Chillicothe, and so on, I think people are starting to realize, oh, wait a minute, this team's pretty good.
Yeah, you mentioned that Logan Elm team up in Pickaway County. I think the most impressive thing about that Braves team from last year is how good they were and how strong their reputation was, and they missed, probably their best offensive player for the better half of last season. So with her back into the fold, that only elevates the ceiling for the Braves. Now, Shane, looking to the coaching matchup tonight, kind of on the opposite ends of the spectrum. You have head coach Laura Smith. She's one of two coaches in the state of Ohio with over 800 career wins. Then you have Gavin Patterson. Last year he was at Southeastern. Years prior he spent some time, I believe, as the JV coach at Unioto, mixing in as an assistant coach as well. Now in his first year as the Unioto head coach. Talk about that matchup here tonight.
Well, look, in coaching, you have to know your program and you have to have your kids ready. I mean, obviously, no one's going to doubt on the Adena side what Coach Smith has done, not just in her success here at Adena, but really for the sport of volleyball throughout the entire southeast part of the state, and what she's meant to the game and what she's meant to the SVC. On the other side, you have a program in Unioto. You're going to come into a lot of athletes. You're going to come in to incredible depth. We just saw that in that JV match. There were some really impressive young ladies out there that are going to be pushing for varsity time here in the next couple of years. And done a nice job. Both teams are going to play about 10 girls, and they're going to get them involved in different roles. And again, that's what it comes down to the coaching. Can you put your athletes in the best spots to be successful? And I think both of these teams have found a rotation here early on, at least, that they're going to go with that so far so good in terms of the success they've had. Now,
Shane, you did mention you've more or less seen every set Unioto has played this season. Obviously, these teams have a common opponent in South Webster. We saw Adena take down the Jeeps in 4 this past Saturday. What did you see from both of those teams specifically, more so how they approach the Jeeps, who are a very dangerous team a bit further down south here in Ohio?
Well, I saw the depth of Unioto throughout all 6 rotations, throughout the entire rotation, and those 6 different rotations as they're moving around. I saw the depth of size and athleticism that I've referred to with Unioto. I've said before in the preseason here with Adena, when Katie Burns goes to the back row and Adena's kind of trying to find themselves and they're doing some different things there, can there be teams that take advantage of that? Well, I'd say with Unioto, they definitely can. I mean, if you look through some of their statistics and you look, oftentimes, assuming they go with the same lineup and rotation that they've been using, they'll get into that 4th, 5th, and 6th rotation. And, Batson back to serve in that 5 hole, and then Patterson with kind of a risk-reward serve in the 6 hole. Those are some sets. In fact, I think Unioto's most best scoring rotation's been that 5th spot there with Batson back. So that's something to look for tonight. Can Adena, obviously they're going to defend in the back row, but can Adena get enough from the front row to offset some of that depth of size and athleticism of Unioto?
Shane, you mentioned the sophomore Kinsley Batten back at the service line, has 10 aces on the season. 6 of those came in a 3-set win over West last week, so she's had an outstanding start to her sophomore season. Now, Shane, this matchup has been about right down the middle as it could be the last couple of seasons. Obviously, Adena with the season sweep last year over Unioto, but just the year prior, it was the Shermans sweeping Adena in the season series. So these two programs have had a lot of good players over the last handful of seasons. I think you could take that just to all the way back to each program's beginnings, but it's been right down the middle the last couple of seasons.
No question. These two teams always offer us a really, really entertaining volleyball match, and I can't imagine this year being any different. And it's kind of weird that they both fall on the schedule here on opening night of league play because, I think every team gets better from start to finish. But some teams, because of the experience they return or the lineup they return, or maybe, do they have their setter back? Are they going with a new set or whatever? I think both of these teams, their best volleyball's probably ahead of them. But I felt like coming into the year that maybe the best time to get Adena would be early. Maybe I'm making too much of that. That's just something to kind of pay attention to. But I think this opening set tonight becomes really, really important.
You kind of talk about that ramp-up period for teams at the beginning of the season, and I think that's something we saw last Saturday, except for Adena, instead of a couple matches, it may have only been one set as they dropped that opener to South Webster and then went on to win the final 3 to take the match in 4. So it was a great showing for the Warriors last Saturday.
Yeah, well, and you know what happens a lot of times is in other sports you have your off season and then you have a break. Okay, so if I'm a basketball coach, I lose my kids for a while in the fall, and then we ramp back up for the winter. If I'm a spring coach, I lose them in the fall and winter, maybe some off season workout. What's unique about volleyball is you come through the summer and then it's the fall. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where a lot of teams, if they have some pretty good experience coming back, they've already locked in their rotation, and some of them can peak too early. You know, so a lot of times you come in like any sport. But if you're in a lineup where you're putting some new faces and some new spots, sometimes that takes a while to develop, and I think that's why you see some teams peak a little bit more into the second half of the year.
Now, Shane, one final thought before we take it to break for either team. What will be the keys to success here tonight?
Oh, I think it's got to be serve receive. I think both teams have been serving it at a pretty high, what you'll hear me say, risk reward. They'll make more errors than you'd like to possibly make, but as long as you feel like you're getting something out of it in the ace department or the free ball department, you'll go with it. But I think the ability to pass on target is going to be huge, because for Adena, when Burns is in the front row and you pass on target, she's obviously going to hit at a high level. And then for Unioto, in order to take advantage of some of those things throughout all 6 spots of the rotation, again, it starts with getting that ball on target to Batson so she can deliver it.
Unioto rolling on a 3-game win streak after dropping the season opener to Logan Elm. For Adena, going back to last season, they've won 14 consecutive regular season matchups. We'll go ahead and take it to break. First serve on the other side. Shermans and Warriors coming up next here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio.
At Chillicothe Comfort Heating and Air, your comfort is our priority year-round.
Whether it's blazing hot or freezing cold, we've got your back with fast, reliable service you can trust.
Locally owned, honest, and done right the first time.
We have financing options available for every budget, as well as 60 months, 0% interest.
Call us today and feel the difference that comfort makes.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
Are you looking for the best deals on quality used trucks and cars?
Great news. Chillicothe Truck has what you're looking for.
Choose from a wide selection of makes and models. All vehicles undergo a detailed multi-point inspection and extensive reconditioning before hitting the lot. Our friendly team offers a no-pressure sales experience, ensuring you find the perfect vehicle to fit your needs. Plus, you can customize your ride with our extensive range of truck accessories, from bed covers to lift kits. Stop by 173 Rennick Avenue in Chillicothe or call us today at 740-773-8782 to get started right now.
Glo Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glo Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glo Fiber is here. Welcome to Glo-Ohio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLO or visit glofiber.com to switch today.
Back here in Frankfort, opening serve coming up in just a moment. Player introductions just a few moments away from beginning here at Adena High School. Shane, we've obviously talked about some keys for both teams for success here tonight, but who are some individual players that will have to step up on either side for either team to come out of this one undefeated in league play?
Well, let me throw it at you this way. I would say, with Katie Burns and people listening would be like, well, yeah, great analysis, Shane. Katie Burns needs to play well, but I'm not even talking about in the front row. I'm talking about in the back row. You look for Unioto to really go at her and make her receive the volleyball. The other day, South Webster sent it her way 47 times, where they only gave Dalton 11 chances and J.C. Smith 6. That's just outstanding coaching. That's outstanding serving. So it's not that Burns is not capable, because she is. But You don't want Dalton to touch it. You don't want Smith. So then what happens is this, Dewey, if Burns is being forced to work and work and work, I compare it to like that great score in basketball. Sometimes what do? You try to make them work on the defensive end because you're hoping to wear them down a little bit to take some of the legs away. So that'll be interesting to me to see. Can Stanley, DePoy, Anderson, Detweiler, Batson, and Patterson are the 6 I've seen serve for Unioto throughout the early part on most occasions. Can they read their coach from the bench, hit their spots, and that'll be a huge part in terms of who can go, because if that takes place, then they can get Dean out of system a little bit. But man, if you miss your spots and you just let Dalton and Smith handle the ball more than they should, the pass is going to be on target. Now all of a sudden Courtney Sowers and Allie Bossert know exactly where to put it, and the Adena attack is going to be something that's going to be tough to handle.
Shermans coming into tonight 3-1 on a 3-match win streak. Dropped the opener in straight sets to Logan Elm. Since then, they've taken down both Chillicothe and, actually they took down Chillicothe in 5. They took down Portsmouth West in straight sets this past Saturday. And they also beat South Webster in straight sets, in 5 sets. That was their second match of the season. Already talked about Adena taking down the Jeeps this past Saturday, and for the Jeeps, obviously coming off of that 24-4 season last year, regional champions, all the way to the Final Four. Head coach Laura Smith, just one of 2 coaches in the state of Ohio history in volleyball with over 800 career wins.
So amazing to think back on all that she's done. For the longest time, she's utilized some 5-1 setters, and then she's changed over to 6-2 setter, and she's had different liberos, different hitters, left-handed hitters, right-handed, and she's just mixed and matched as all great coaches do. But as I said on Saturday, through all that, the staple has been the defense, and that'll be huge here this evening.
Zoe Detweiler serves it away, and we are underway. SVC action here in Frankfort. Addison Weiskamp gets the first swing, and it's blocked by the Shermans. Now J.C. Smith flies it over to the Shermans. Batson sets it up down the middle. Dennis gets the first kill tonight for Unioto. .6'1" sophomore Charlotte Dennis gets the Shermans out in front 1-0 here in the first. Detweiler serves it away. Service error for Unioto. It's 1-1. Something we saw really haunt the Jeeps this past Saturday was errors from the service line.
That's that risk reward I'm talking about. Sometimes when you try to get too fine in hitting your spot, that can happen.
Now the junior libero, Kimmy Dalton, serves it away for Adena. Batson brings it to Dennis near side. Can't get it up over the tape. Nice defense from Adena. Back to Dennis. Nice dig in the back row momentarily by Dalton, but it'll be another kill for Charlotte Dennis.
Great job by the sophomore Dennis to transition off the net and get ready to hit again. Too many times young players stand and watch. She got right off the net, got ready to go again, and delivered the kill.
Batson serves it away for Unioto. Sowers to the middle of the floor. Roll shot back over to Unioto by Glandon. Batson brings it near side. Patterson dug up in the back row by Dalton. Down the middle, Katie Burns. She gets her first kill of the night. Burns coming off of a 524 kill season a year ago, in the win last Saturday over South Webster. The senior had 26.
Got to anticipate where the ball's going to go there in these 3 rotations. We're up front, the block a little late that time.
Allie Bossert checks in. She'll do the setting for the Warriors. Here's Dennis near side. Bossert tight to the net, keeps it down the middle for Burns. Back-to-back kills for Adena.
Good sign for Adena. The other day, maybe nerves, maybe a little bit, I don't know. I mean, almost 50 total errors from Adena throughout the day, and 20 of them were on the hitting side. So good to see Burns off to the good start.
Bossert serves it away. Batson back-setting far side. And a kill for Unioto. The senior Ava Patterson ties it up at 3.
Outstanding set from the sophomore Batson. That's that ability to spread it out at all spots of the net, that time using the back set, and Patterson with an open net.
Patterson now back to the service line for Unioto. Bossert keeps it near side. Burns down the line, her third kill of the first set.
Got to pay attention to the different parts of the rotation. On that first ball over in that particular rotation, Burns actually hits out of the opposite weak side, the backside there. And again, the block has to understand that's where the ball's going to go 90, 95% of the time.
After the kill, Burns will serve it away. Batson goes backside for Dennis. She sneaks it up over the tape for the kill.
Yeah, Dennis off to a nice start, already 3 kills, and she too showing off her athleticism and the ability to hit at different spots of the net.
3 kills for Dennis, 3 kills for Burns. It's 4-4 here in the first. Batson serves it away for Unioto. Bossert to the far side, a roll shot for J.C. Smith. Now Batson back setting to the far side, tipped over by Watson. She gets the kill.
Unioto tweaked the rotation a little bit from what I've seen, just maybe looking for some different matchups. And again, that's that versatility.
Roll shot over by Smith. Now Stanley bumps it to the near side. Anderson up over the tape and back to Adena now. Back over by Smith. Batson brings it near side. Back to Anderson. Diving effort from Bossert keeps it alive. Back over by Smith. She sneaks it in for the kill.
Good court vision from J.C. Smith. I thought Unioto had a great chance, Dewey, on a free ball. There's no reason for your setter to take that. Someone's got to get real aggressive behind her and call her off to the net. That way you can go on the attack. Once she takes that first ball, you're pretty much automatically out of rhythm.
Ava Farrell will serve it away for the Warriors. Batson tight to the net, brings it back to the near side for Detweiler. Attacking error for Unioto. Warriors lead 6-5.
Yeah, good try from the setter there. The ball really high and tight. She did all she could to give her hitter a chance.
Batson front setting near side over by Anderson. She gets the kill.
Libby Anderson becomes the 4th Lady Sherman to have a kill already. Give Detweiler a lot of credit there. I thought she went hard in the middle to freeze the block, giving Anderson the free net on the outside.
Now the senior Ellie DePoy will serve it away for Unioto. Bossert back to Burns coming out of the back row. An overpass by Unioto and an overpass for Medina. Near side, Anderson into the back row. A diving effort from Burns keeps it alive, but not for long. Unioto comes away with the point, and they lead 7-6.
Yeah, great effort on both sides. You won't see that very often from Kimmy Dalton. Just simply got away from her. She was trying to, I think she was trying to bump it outside to give her outside hitter a chance.
Bossert sets it up near side. This is J.C. Jones, her first swing of the night.
Yeah, I mentioned Jones the other day. I was real impressed with her up in double digits on the kill side and just did some real athletic things.
Talked about her in the pregame last Saturday, right around half of the sets last year for Adena. She had 12 kills in the win over South Webster. Now the junior Courtney Sowers back to serve. Right down the middle, Detweiler dug up in the back row by Burns. Bit off the net, J.C. Smith. She comes away with the kill.
Intrigued by where the coaches decided to start their rotations here to get some of the different matchups. And this is where I think Unioto wants to try to give Detweiler a real chance in the front row to get established.
Free ball over by Anderson. Overpass from Burns, but she comes away with the kill.
Well, that's probably not out of the 1,000 and some she's going to end up having in her career, that's probably not the biggest highlight, but she'll certainly take it.
Saw that the other day against South Webster as well. I don't believe it was Burns directly, but Adena had an overpass that resulted in a point. 9-7 Warriors here in the first. Batson bump setting near side. Zoe Detweiler gets the kill. Sherman's back within one.
Detweiler on the board now, and a good play from her setter there to get that ball popped up to her.
Anderson serves it away for Unioto. Bump set by Smith and a free ball over by Weiskopf. Batson front setting, near side Patterson. Hit back over by the Warriors now. Detweiler tries to sneak it over. Sowers out of the back row. Katie Burns gets another kill.
Yeah, Burns already with 5 kills and 2 really big swings from the back row. I like that option because it just keeps her involved in the offense as well.
Batson comes near side for Patterson, was unable to get a hand on it, and it drops out of bounds. 3-point lead for Adena.
Yeah, just a little tight to the net there. One of the few mistakes we've really seen early. It's been pretty good volleyball early on here.
Batson bump setting far side. It's Detweiler just a bit outside the back line. It's 12-8.
Dewey, just like that, it's 10-8, you make a couple mistakes, and you look up, now it's 12-8. This is where if you're Unioto, you really got to focus. You can't allow yourself to go in these 3- and 4-point spurts.
Batson keeps it down the middle. Zoe Detweiler swinging away, and a dig from Smith. Here's Burns on the attack. She gets the kill. Dominant opening set for the senior Katie Burns. Timeout, Unioto.
That was Adena at their very, very best there with the great defensive play from J.C. Smith to jump-start it all. Right on target, and then allows Burns to go. And Burns is off to, 6 kills, and I'm not keeping the attempts, but I don't think she's probably had more than 7 or 8 swings. So, she's off to a great start from an efficiency standpoint as well.
13-8, Adena leading Unioto here in the opening set. We talked about just how even this matchup has been the last couple of seasons, with the Warriors sweeping the season series last year with Unioto, but the Shermans doing the exact same thing the other way the year prior, so a 2-2 split over the last 4 meetings.
But I think that's important because as you go on, it gives kids a lot of confidence. We talked over the years that, with the success Adena's had, sometimes the 2-shade blue across the net in this league is, that's a factor, right? Where Unioto's been one of the programs that's been able to go a little bit more toe-to-toe here in recent memory, and I think that really helps from a confidence standpoint.
So out of the timeout, Warriors leading Unioto by 5. It's J.C. Smith to serve it away. Detweiler brings it back to the near side, and it's a free ball over by Patterson. Sowers sets it up for Burns. Down the middle, finds an opening and sticks it in. It's 14-8.
Great court vision. Again, that can also come from the communication in the back row with the elite back row players of Adena calling out what's open.
Batson back setting for Detweiler, who she gets the kill. Finally able to put an end to the rally for Adena.
Much better job in serve receive there. Ella DePoy doing a nice job putting it on target.
Detweiler back to the service line for Unioto. Sowers goes far side. Katie Burns, another kill.
I just can't say enough how just relaxed and just in rhythm she seems. I thought the other day she was a little juiced up. I thought she, just got a little bit out of sync a little bit, and had some serve receive errors, had some hitting errors tonight. Just really, really good rhythm.
Dalton serves it away for Adena. Bump set near side. Charlotte Dennis, the first swing for her we've seen since around the first couple of points of the set. She gets a kill.
Yeah, Dennis had him off to a really good start. Remember, she had 3 kills on her first trip across the front row, and then when she went off the court there, Dina was able to go a little bit. Maybe she can spark them back into it here.
Batson serves it away. Here's Sowers back setting near side. Katie Burns, another kill. 6-point lead for Adena.
That's just a terrible matchup on that side there for Unioto, but they can at least cheat there knowing that's where she's going to be on that first ball over in that rotation.
Bossert serves it away for the Warriors. Batson bump sets it to the near side. Charlotte Dennis, another kill. 5 kills here in the opening set for the sophomore.
Yeah, just been really good, really confident. I like the athleticism. Gets off the net a little bit there and contacts that ball at the high point. Nice job.
Bump set from Glandon, far side. J.C. Jones sails it over the back line. An attacking error for Adena brings Unioto back within 4. Haven't seen Jones as much involved tonight as we saw her last Saturday.
Do we pay attention here? Ava Patterson has a real risk-reward serve. She can really get it going. That's what I'm talking about there. Sometimes you'll see the ace or the free ball over, then she'll miss a couple. But a lot of times coaches will live with that because she's the type of kid that can get it going one time and really flip a set.
Burns serves it away and over the back line, right back to Unioto. They trail by 4 here in the first set. Batson serves it away. Rather, Alyssa Stanley serves it away. It'll be a free ball over by Smith. Now Batson brings it to the near side for Anderson, up over the tape for the kill. Seen Anderson getting involved early here in the opener.
It's her second set. I've seen them use White at the net a little bit there. I've also seen them use Anderson, going with Anderson on the outside here this evening.
Bossert goes far side, a roll shot over by Smith. Now Batson brings it back to Anderson near side, into the back row for the kill.
Now Unioto within 2 and starting to settle in a little bit. You saw this from Adena the other day. They were out in front and they got a little sloppy right in the middle part of that first set, and South Webster came back and got them.
Stanley serves it away and out of bounds. Back to the Warriors, they lead by 3. Farrell serves it away. Batson front netting right down the middle. Detweiler, a nice dig in the back row by Farrell. From the attack line, it's Katie Burns, dug up by the Shermans. Now far side, Abigail Watson swinging away. Adena keeps it alive. Here's J.C. Jones on the attack for the kill.
And again, nothing wrong with Unioto's attack. It's just the Adena defense. They're in the right spot, very skillful, pass on target, and they're able to come right back at you.
Batson bump setting near side for Anderson. Diving effort from Burns, now back into play by Bossert, and a free ball over by Lee Master. Overpass from the Shermans, now back to Adena now, and it looks like they had one of the Shermans over the midline. That violation will make it a 6-point first set and a timeout for Unioto. (20-15), Adena leading here in the first.
Yeah, just a little bit of some unforced errors there. I mean, credit Adena's hustle just to keep the ball alive, but then in doing so, Unioto scrambled a little bit there and just lost some awareness of where they were at on the court. And just like that, you fight all the way back to, what was it, 17-15. Adena rolls off 3 in a row, and now here we are, 20-15.
League opening matchup here in the Satin Valley Conference here tonight between Unioto and Adena. I haven't checked, but I would assume the other 6 conference opponents are also in action tonight against one another.
They are. You're going to test me here. I think it's Southeastern Huntington. That's where John Bruce is. You can get that update on the Twitter X. And then the, let's see, Paint Valley, I believe, has Zane Trace. So what would that leave? Westfall and Piketon.
Westfall and Piketon.
I might have just butchered that, but I think I'm right.
At least you had the right 6 teams one way or another. Out of the timeout, Farrell serves it away. Adena leading Unioto by 5 here in the first. Anderson back over, a dig from Burns, far side. Rather right down the middle, it's Jones, and a dig from Batson. Stanley goes to the far side for Watson, but it's off the net. And out of play, it's 21-15, Adena.
And again, we're right here at danger time for Unioto after they were all the way back within 2. They've got to be able to stop the bleeding here.
Another serve from Farrell. Batson right down the middle. Detweiler, a diving effort from Smith, keeps it alive. Back to the Shermans now. Batson near side to... And it ends up being Zoe Detweiler who gets the kill. It was Anderson who was blocked at the net by Adena, but on the first touch, Zoe Detweiler sent it right back in for the kill.
Nice read from Detweiler again. Adena with a big-time dig, a big-time block and play. So rather than just continuing to do the conventional, why not go ahead and find a hole and toss it down there, and Detweiler was able to do that.
DuPuy serves it away for Unioto. Bossert back setting near side. J.C. Jones blocked up top by Anderson and Detweiler. Shermans come away with the point. They're back within 4.
Nice answer there. Much better awareness of understanding in this rotation that it was going to be Jones on the outside as the number 1 option.
Bossert from the attack line goes to Leemaster on the far side for the kill.
That was a good read there from Bossert. Instead of going back there to the same spot where the block was cheating, she threw it outside there, and Leemaster was able to get a much more open net.
Sowers back in for Adena. She serves it away. Batson near side for Anderson, and a dig from Smith. Sowers goes right down the middle for Leemaster. She's blocked up top by Detweiler. It falls on the Adena side for the kill.
Great defensive effort from Detweiler. Adena just got sucked up to the net a little bit. You always got to have the one just a little deeper. You want to dig up underneath there for your coverage, Dewey, on the block, but you got to have the one a little deeper for that type of ball, and I thought Adena got sucked up there a little bit.
Sowers comes near side for Smith. Dug up in the back row by DuPuy. Now near side, it's Patterson. Back to the Warriors now. Wisecup sets it up for Leemaster, and she sails it over the back line. Sherman's back within 3.
Unioto not going away.
Sowers back setting near side. Smith up over the tape with the right hand. Free ball over by Patterson, nearly fell in. Second touch by Burns, and a free ball over by Leemaster. Batson right down the middle. Detweiler dug up in the back row by Burns. Now a roll shot far side from Smith. Batson front setting near side. Patterson up over with the right hand. She gets the kill. Both teams to 20. Here in the first, Adena leads by 2. And a timeout for Laura Smith and the Warriors.
You're in one of those rotations I highlighted in our pre-match coverage, Dewey, where Unioto's depth showing itself here a little bit, and Adena's got to get it figured out here. This is where if you're Unioto, you can't let them off the hook with a missed serve or that type of unforced error. Make Adena make a play here, because if you're Unioto, you have some matchup advantages across the net.
Opening set here in Frankfurt. If you're just now tuning in, Adena leading Unioto 22-20. One of 4 league opening matchups across the Saddle Valley Conference here tonight.
I was thinking the SOC might have started tonight too. If I remember when you read those off the other day, South Webster and the SOC groups were playing tonight as well.
South Webster specifically, I believe, was going to Northwest. Although I believe the SOC for volleyball is now 3 conferences, so that actually wouldn't be a league matchup, as Northwest is in the SOC too. It's a little complicated, as some sports there's 3, some sports there's 2. Out of the timeout, Libby Anderson serves it away. Sowers now from the attack line. Katie Burns, and a nice dig from Stanley. Near side, Patterson sails it over the back line. A hitting error for Unioto. 3-point lead for Adena.
Yeah, Adena comes out of the timeout, decides to go back row attack with Burns, and then the hitting error from Unioto. Now if you're Adena, this is where you got to take advantage and finish this thing.
Smith serves it away. Far side, Zoe Detweiler nearly gets the kill. Now Burns down the middle. Nice play by Unioto, but an overpass is sent right back down. A Richter scale swing for Katie Burns.
All right, gone. That was impressive on both sides. I mean, it went out of our view down here for just a second, so I apologize. I didn't get a Unioto name on. Someone made a great play, come back, and then Burns was certainly waiting on it.
Set point 24-20. Detweiler over with the right hand, and she just did stick it in for the kill.
Great vision from Detweiler there. Pick out a spot. Now you got Burns coming back to the front row, so the serve receive is everything here for the Warriors.
Detweiler serves it away and out of bounds. It'll be a service there that ends it here in the first, a 25-21 final. So Adena takes the opener. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Ohio High School Volleyball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to talk to you about our express service that we offer at every Glockner location. Did you know that you don't need an appointment if you need a routine service done to your vehicle? All you have to do is show up. No appointment necessary. Stop by and let us serve you at any Glockner location today.
At North Fork Animal Clinic, we're more than your pet's health care. We're your neighbors. We combine top-quality veterinary care with the availability you can count on, keeping tails wagging and pets thriving. And as proud supporters of youth sports in Southern Ohio, we're committed to helping our whole community grow strong. North Fork Animal Clinic, caring for pets, supporting our community.
Back here in Frankfort, the Warriors taking the opening set from Unioto by a final score of 25-21, one of the more exciting opening sets we've had this season. It was right down to the wire, but it was the Warriors who pulled away there at the end.
Yeah, Katie Burns with 10 kills in that opening set. I mean, just really, really efficient. Even got swinging from the back row a little bit. I thought Unioto played a good set. I thought Unioto lost just a little bit of focus right there around 10-8. I looked down at my notes here, 2 or 3 unforced errors. And that's what you got to avoid, because all of a sudden, once Adena goes up 4 or 5 on you, they're just hard to catch at that point because they're not going to make as many mistakes. The other day, I thought Adena showed a little bit of those first match jitters, as I said in the pre-match coverage, right around 51 total errors on the day, 20 hitting errors. I think they missed 9 serves, 12 digging errors. I mean, and I thought that was a much cleaner set for Adena. They certainly made their mistakes still, which you're going to make against a team as talented as Unioto, but I thought that was a way, way cleaner set of volleyball from Adena than what you and I even watched the other day.
If you're just now tuning in, it was a 25-21 final in the opening set here tonight. Adena out to a 1-0 lead, headed into set 2. Both teams set to continue league play this coming Thursday. Adena will make the trip to Kinney Connect. That should be a good one as they take on Zane Trace. And for Unioto, they're back in Frenchtown against Paint Valley this Thursday. So it'll be J.C. Smith for the Warriors to open up set 2 here tonight in Frankfort. Second set underway. Set from Detweiler near side. It's Patterson. Dug up in the back row by Smith. Now Burns the first swing of the second set, and she gets the kill.
Good start for Adena. I think anytime you grab that first set, you want to get out in front. Do not let the other team steal any of the momentum back from you.
Bats it on the second touch. She sticks it in for the kill. Heady play from the sophomore setter.
Yeah, it really was. Nice job. And again, that type of decision from the setters made possible by the outstanding pass from DePoy. And, you know, with Bats in there, setting up in the front row. She's live at that point.
Detweiler tight to the net. Unable to get it up over the tape. Another service error for Unioto.
When I refer to the setter being live, I mean she's in the front row so she can attack up over the net. Like for Adena's case, 6'2" setter from the back row cannot do that.
Far side, Patterson with the right hand. Nice dig from Kimmy Dalton. Now a free ball over by Weiskopf. Batson down the middle. Charlotte Dennis. Diving effort from Dalton to keep it alive, and a roll shot over by Caroline Glandon, but it looks like it was outside the antenna. That violation will even it up at 2-2.
Yeah, line judge right on it there. Immediately had the red flag go up.
Now the sophomore Kinsley Batson to serve it away. And she comes away with the ace. We talked about her game from the service line in the pregame. She has 10 on the season, make it 11. 6 of those came last Saturday against Portsmouth West.
Yeah, Unioto's mixed the rotation in and out a little bit here, but nonetheless, this is a spot that Batson can get going. But again, you'll see that sometimes with the risk reward. She serves at about 95% coming in, but you'll see the ace, you'll see the miss sometimes, and you hope that if she stays aggressive that the aces will come more in bunches.
Back over to the Warriors, it's Allie Bossert. She serves it away. Batson front setting near side for Dennis. She gets the kill. Charlotte Dennis hands on to what has been an outstanding start to her night.
Yeah, she really is. She's one of the real breakout stars in the not just the league, but really our coverage area here early on. The talented sophomore going to have a big year.
Bossert comes near side from the attack line. It's Burns, dug up in the back row by Batson. Now far side, it's Abigail Watson swinging away. Free ball over by Dalton. Batson front setting. Dennis down the middle for the kill.
Great communication. Sophomore setter Batson, sophomore hitter Dennis. Dennis doing a good job of going hard, getting right to the setter and being able to catch the open net before the block could get established.
Dennis with a team high 44 kills coming into tonight. Bossert keeps it near side for Burns. Another kill for the senior.
That first ball over on that particular spot of the rotation really hurting Unioto. They haven't been able to get the block over there and get any sort of resistance on that weak side attack.
Batson front setting Watson down the middle, blocked up top by Jones. Now a roll shot far side off the top of the tape from Dennis. Jones down the middle, swinging away. Doesn't get the kill. What a play by Dennis. And Anderson to get it over on the free ball. Now the Warriors just do get it up over the tape, and another impressive free ball over by the Shermans. Bossert sets it up for Jones. Dug up by Batson. Stanley back into play, and a free ball over by Unioto. Bossert to Glandon, dug up by the Shermans. Batson goes far side for Watson. Free ball over by the Warriors now. Bump set from Stanley, it goes up over the net. Warriors quickly back over to Unioto. One too many touches for the Shermans. Puts an end to the rally.
Well, great effort all the way around. You know, again, the volleyball not the prettiest because of some of the, really both groups being out of system, but nonetheless, incredible effort not to let the ball touch.
Batson goes far side for Dennis, unable to get it up over the tape. Attacking error puts the Warriors up 6-5.
Yeah, coming from that backside there, doesn't seem to me to be as comfortable as from the strong side, but that's something throughout her career that's going to come on. Just way too good of athlete not to.
Service error for Katie Burns, evens it up at 6-6. Stanley serves it away for Unioto. Near side, Glandon swinging away out of bounds. Sherman's back out in front by 1. And an ace for Unioto. That puts them ahead by 2. The senior Alyssa Stanley.
Great effort from Smith. Just couldn't quite pop it up enough.
Bossert front setting for Jones. She gets the kill. Warriors back within 1.
It's a big swing. Again, in these rotations for Adena as they get into some of these big matches, this is where they really need the production that we're talking about back on Saturday and again here throughout this evening. That's a big, big swing to help Adena move through these spots.
Batson sets it up for Detweiler into the back row for the kill. Shermans lead 9-7.
Sorry, dude, that's an outstanding set. That's just being on the same page with your hitter. That nice little, it's that lower. It's not really the same as a shoot set because it's so small, but it's just going with that lower set. And the action just happens so quick, the block just can't react.
Ellie DuPoy back to serve. Bosser keeps it near side. A roll shot from Jones. Blocked at the net by Detweiler. Now Smith on the second touch. Back over to Unioto. Down the line, Anderson into the net. Nine 9-8 Unioto. Now the junior setter, Courtney Sowers, to serve it away. Batson right down the middle for Detweiler, a dig from Burns. Now Sowers goes to Leemaster, blocked up top by Detweiler, and a free ball over back to the Shermans. Detweiler swinging away, blocked by Leemaster. It falls on the Sherman side. It's 9-9. We've seen the sophomore Peyton Leemasters over the last couple of matches really step up in big moments for Adena.
Yeah, that's a big-time spot there against a really good player, one-on-one in the middle.
Batson bump setting near side, pushed over with 2 by Anderson. Now Leemaster swinging away, nearly gets the kill, an overpass in a jousting match at the net between Leemaster and Detweiler. Back to the Shermans now. Detweiler swinging away out of the middle. Another block for Adena. This time it's Jones. Now Anderson into the back left corner for the kill. Outstanding accuracy on the roll shot for the sophomore, Libby Anderson.
Yeah, hit her spot well. I think Adena was wondering if there was definitely a touch on the block, was wanting the 4. They play on, and Anderson finds the back corner.
Anderson now serves it away for Unioto. Right down the middle, it's Leemaster, a dig from Stanley. Batson near side for Patterson, up over with the right hand. Smith keeps it alive. Out of the back row, it's Burns swinging away, another kill for the senior. J.C. Smith coming away with the ace. Warriors back out in front, 11-10.
Yeah, J.C. just so complete in her game. Obviously an amazing defender. Can do it with the serve. And I've been impressed early this year with the increased production at the net.
Batson to Detweiler with the right hand. Just sneaks it in front of the attack line for the kill.
A lot of position there for Adena. I mean, the block is set, so you have to anticipate the tip there. I feel like the back line a little deep there, leaving that hole.
It's a service error for the Shermans. That'll send it back to Adena with a 1-point lead.
It's Kepler in the match there to serve.
Kepler, the only junior on the roster for Unioto. Dennis off the overpass, spikes it down for the kill. We've talked about the importance of executing offensively off of the overpass. We've certainly seen that here tonight.
Give Batson a lot of credit there. She kept that entire rally alive for that to happen with that nice play at the net.
Batson serves it away for Unioto. Bump set from Sowers and a roll shot from Glandon. Now Dennis with the right hand, dug up by Sowers. Burns down the middle, blocked up top by Dennis and Patterson. Free ball over by the Warriors, but Kimmy Dalton comes away with the kill and nobody home for Unioto.
Kimmy Dalton's going to have about 2,000 or 2,500 digs before she's done wearing the Adena jersey. I think she was more excited about her kill there than anything.
13-12, Warriors leading. Allie Bossert, the sophomore, sneaks in the ace.
Great spot.
This time Bossert goes into the back row. Batson front setting near side for Dennis. She sails it out of bounds. It's 15-12 Adena. Gavin Patterson takes a timeout for Unioto.
It's a good timeout. Remember we talked about in the first set, I think it was 10-8. I thought Unioto lost a little focus, went 12-8. Same thing here. You know, Unioto's right there in this set. They're doing a nice job. Adena comes back at him a little bit, and then just a few little mistakes where a ball falls in and then you get a hitting error. Pretty good timeout in my opinion. Already down 1-0 in the match, now down 15-12. You don't want to let it go any further.
That's something we've highlighted through 2 matches and about 1.5 sets of volleyball coverage this season was the importance of timing when it comes to timeouts. You don't want to wait until it gets too out of hand to blow the whistle.
And you know, look, I understand that a lot of coaches like to have those if you get into the 21-20, 23-22 type of thing. I get that. But at the same time, like, no different than a basketball coach likes to have them late game situation, right? But at the same time, if Adena goes on to score 4 or 5 points in a row and you fall down 18 or 19-12, what's it going to matter if you have a timeout? You're going to lose the set. So I think that's a good use of that to make sure that you just try to stop this now.
Another shallow serve from Bossert. Here's Dennis, bounces it off of the tape. Far side Jones with the right hand, coming away with the kill. J.C. Jones has really turned it on here in the back half of the second set.
I have Jones for 4 kills now.
Tied to the net, Batson brings it all the way across the floor to Dennis. She gets another kill. And sophomore to sophomore connection from Batson to Dennis.
Nice job of Watson going in the middle there. I can't stress that enough. All your hitters have to go to occupy the block and give them something to look at.
Patterson serves it away for Unioto. Bump set from Bossert. It's a free ball over by Burns. Batson back setting to the far side for Watson, dug up by Burns. Bossert back to Burns, swinging away, had the tip. No, they're going to have her hitting it out of bounds. Thought we may have had the Unioto tip. Nonetheless, it's a 16-14 lead for Adena.
Yeah, one of the few times the night setter and Burns have not been on the same page there, and she tried to adjust in mid-swing and just couldn't do it.
Ava Patterson coming away with the ace. Shermans all the way back within 1.
It's a little bit what I was talking about earlier. I know she missed a serve earlier, but now 3 straight serves where either an ace or a ball that's been tough to pass on target. And she misses one, but again, that's okay in my opinion from that particular rotation spot, because now, could you do that in all 6 spots? I don't know. I missed the call. Were they out of? Did they rotate or leave early? I did not see the call. Sometimes what happens is you'll see where the setter's coming from the back row. She's gonna take off at contact to come up to her setter spot. sometimes if you leave early, you're out of rotation.
So the violation against Adena, we'll work on getting that explanation for you. It takes it from a 2-point Warrior lead to we're tied up at 16. Ava Patterson back to serve. Patterson just off the tape at 17-16. Back to the Warriors now. Would you compare the risk-reward serve similar to a home run hitter in baseball, where it's okay if you strike out 2 or 3 times as long as you put one over the wall at some point?
I think in modern-day baseball, I think that's a good analogy.
Now Charlotte Dennis ties it up at 17.
And again, to stay with that analogy, I don't know that you want, a lineup of like 8 or 9 of those guys, right? You like 4 or 5 of them. Same way in serving. You'd have a hard time using 6 servers that way, but if you have one that can really get it going at some point and change a match, you might let her go a little bit.
Stanley serves it away for Unioto. Bosser to Jones, blocked at the net by Detweiler. Now near side, it's Glandon swinging away. Bump set from Stanley, far side. Watson, a roll shot back over to the Warriors. She sticks it in for the kill. Shermans back out in front by 1.
Great response from Unioto here after that timeout earlier. They fight and claw their way back, and now here they are with an opportunity.
And a timeout for Adena. Second timeout of the set, the first for the Warriors. They're trailing Unioto by 1. Going back to the discussion about serving, obviously similar to baseball, you need those table setters, if you will, that kind of give you room for the guys that, frankly, are hit or miss.
Well, in the argument against what I'm saying in a matchup, let's say Burns was in the back row and Unioto's got a lot of advantages at the net. The other argument might be, hey, I want to serve a little safer and more efficient because I want to put the ball in place so that I can utilize my matchup, right? Where if Burns is in the front row and you're just going to toss it over right on target to, Dalton, she's going to set it up there and Burns is going to hammer it, you might as well hit it in the net anyway, right? You see what I'm saying? So it really is a matchup thing as well.
I guess a better analogy might be the strikeout pitcher versus the ground ball pitcher. Mm-hmm. Whether or not your confidence is high in the defense behind you, whether you'd have a guy go out there and maybe they throw 100 pitches in 5 innings, but they get 10 strikeouts.
Sure.
Out of the timeout, Stanley serves it away for Unioto. Burns goes to the far side, flicked up over the net by Smith. Now Detweiler down the middle with the kill. Miscommunication between Bossert and Burns on the Warriors side allows the ball to drop in. It's a 2-point game.
Detweiler now with 7 kills and 2 blocks, and Adena serve receive letting them down a little bit here.
Another Stanley serve. Bossert front setting from the attack line. A roll shot from Smith sails over the back line. The Shermans the first to 20 here in the second. Tied to the net, Bossert sets it up for Jones. Pushed over with 2 by Anderson. Now Smith with the right hand sticks it in. That'll put an end to the Unioto rally. Had the feeling we were another Unioto point or 2 away from another Adena timeout.
Good chemistry from Dalton and Smith there. Dalton forced to take that second ball because the setter had taken the first one. She pops it over there and gives her outside teammate a chance.
Farrell serves it away. Batson sets it up for Detweiler. Nice dig in the back row by Burns. Now Jones on the attack for the kill. Jones is really taken off here in the second.
So again, you get a kill from Smith, then you get a kill from Jones, and those are the types of things in these rotations you just have to stay afloat as Burns makes her way across that back row.
20-19 and an ace for Ava Farrell. That'll tie it up at 20 apiece.
It's like Stanley, Puckett, and Anderson going to be in serve receive here from Unioto.
Farrell serves it away. Batson front sitting near side. It's Anderson. She's unable to keep it between the lines, and the Warriors take a 21-20 lead, and that forces a Unioto timeout. Second time out of the set for the Shermans.
Yeah, give Kylie Puckett credit there. She had the serve receive error the time before. They went right back at her, and the sophomore was up to the challenge that time. Passed on target. They were just unable to get the kill to find that back corner, and now it's Adena who answers 21-20. This has been very competitive volleyball. It's been back and forth, and just as we expected it would be. These are two volleyball teams that are going to do really, really well throughout 2025, and then obviously come postseason, they won't have to worry about one another. They'll go their separate ways.
You talking about teams going their separate ways. The other side of that got really interesting last season, where you had the Zane Trace Huntington matchup in the district final. You had the Adena Zane Trace matchup in the regional semi. It kind of goes to show not only how good volleyball is here in Southern Ohio, but just how good it is within the conference.
Yeah, it really is, and that was nutty in terms of that the way the SVC teams just were beating up on each other, really from about the sectional final on.
Obviously had Adena and Westfall meeting up in the regional final a handful of years ago as well. Far side, it's Watson. Now Jones out of the middle, a dig from Stanley. Batson back to Watson, just didn't stick it inside the back line for the kill.
Huge swing from the sophomore there to tie us back up at 21. A lot of confidence from Abby Watson.
Watson, 15 kills coming into tonight, 6 of those in the win over West. Now DePoy to serve it away. We're all tied up at 21. She just does trickle it over the tape. It drops in for the ace.
Great break there. I know it's hard, but you got to follow that ball in flight to always be aware of that possibility.
Bossert keeps it near side for Jones. Shermans keep it alive near side. It's Anderson back over to the Warriors now. Bossert to Jones down the middle. She gets another kill. 22 all.
Can't say enough about Jones. That's 4 kills here in the set, right when they need her the most. 22 all is. Go back, Sowers again. Kind of a risk-reward serve of her own. Let's see what she goes with here.
Batson keeps it down the middle for Detweiler, but had a tip on the Adena side. That'll put the Shermans back out in front by 1.
Yeah, Coach Smith just not happy with the communication. That ball was going to be high and wide, or high and long, I should say, and just ended up catching a Warrior.
Now Anderson to serve it away. Sowers keeps it near side on the run. It's Smith into the back row. A dig from DePoy on the second touch. It's Batson back over to the Warriors now. Free ball over by Dalton. Back to the Shermans. Batson to Detweiler. Down the middle. A nice dig from Sowers to keep it alive. Free ball over by J.C. Smith, but it was outside the antenna. Set point coming up for the Shermans, and Shane, all of that is more or less on the swing for Zoe Detweiler.
Yeah, really, really aggressive here, and Coach Smith's going to use that timeout. And Unioto just doing a real nice job of keeping Adena off balance. And Adena defense, you won't necessarily see the ball hit the floor very often, but again, you still see it lead to the mistake because they just can't quite get it back over.
We've obviously spent a lot of time, at least the last couple of matches, talking about power on the swing versus accuracy of the swing. We saw a lot of that from the older Claxon, Addie Claxon. Not the most ferocious when swinging, but usually pinpoint accuracy, able to put it exactly where we want it, whereas Detweiler there, that point more so just drawn on the power. It forces the tough pass for Sowers, and obviously a bit wide, and made it tough for Smith to keep it inside the antenna.
Yeah, it's really the really elite hitters have the ability to drop the hammer on you, and then they're also the creative shot makers, and that's a little bit what you're talking about. We've seen Detweiler with some great vision and some tips and so forth, but obviously her strength is that fastball, right? When she can swing away and let it eat, that's when she's going to be at her best.
Libby Anderson to serve it away. Set point for Unioto. 24-22. Sowers into the back row for Burns. Dug up by Stanley. Bats it to the near side. Patterson with the right hand and a dig from Smith. Now Sowers back to Burns out of the back row. Dug up by DePoy. Bats in near side for Patterson. Miss hit. It falls on the Sherman side. Warriors back within one.
Yeah, Adena was going to Burns in the back row there. She had been back there for a while as Unioto started to take control. Now Adena fights back, and you got Burns returning. This is a point opportunity right here on offense for Unioto.
Batson back sitting down the middle. It's Detweiler. She's wide of the back right corner, and we're all tied up at 24.
Again, great vision. It was there, and she just missed it from up here. I could see exactly what she was trying to do. Great opportunity for Adena to come back and steal a set.
J.C. Smith serves it away. Batson bump setting to Detweiler into the net, sent back by Burns. And the free ball over by Unioto falls out of bounds. Advantage Adena. Coach Patterson asking if Burns was up over the net, but it's going to be 25-24, advantage Warriors. J.C. Smith back to serve. Second touch by Detweiler. It'll be a free ball over by Patterson. Sowers going to Burns. She ends it. 26-24, the final in set two. Warriors take a 2-0 lead over Unioto.
Yeah, made possible by the Smith serve there. Unioto unable to get the ball on target to the setter. Ball comes back over, and then Burns, who didn't get to spend a lot of time in the front row in that second set, only had four. I say only 4 kills because she had 10 in the first set. But give Adena a lot of credit. They just wouldn't quit on it, and they stay with it, and they come back. And I think I don't think it's too much of a stretch to say they kind of end up stealing the second set.
A come from behind win in set two for the Warriors. They lead the match 2-0. We'll take a break. You're watching Ohio High School Volleyball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio.
Richard. Countless nights in the garage. 8 shiny new pistons. 1 very happy 16-year-old granddaughter. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
Rathkamp Financial is a comprehensive financial services firm committed to helping our clients improve their long-term financial success. Our customized programs seek to grow, protect, and conserve our clients' wealth by delivering personalized service and expertise. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member, FINRA SIPC. Please call us at 740-775-1040 to schedule a consultation.
Back here in Frankfurt, the Warriors leading Unioto 2-0. Third set coming up in a little over a minute. The Warriors, I believe at the time of the second timeout for Coach Smith, trailed 24-22. They rattled off 4 consecutive points to take the second.
Yeah, and a lot of times it's just about winning time. Even some of those particular points weren't what you would say pretty points, right? They were just high-level competition where I'm just going to work real hard to keep the ball off the floor. I'm going to keep coming at it, and they find a way. And it certainly can break the heart of Unioto there a little bit, but if you're Unioto, you've got to understand that you've proven in both of these sets that you're right there. I know it's an uphill task to win 3 straight, but right now you're just worried about one at a time, and You just got to answer right back, get off to a good start, and see if you can put yourself in that position again.
We mentioned one of 4 league opening matchups across the Santa Valley Conference. Warriors leading Unioto 2-0 in third set here in Frankfort, just moments away. Both teams set to continue league action this Thursday for Adena, their first road match of the year. As they head to Kenny Connect to take on the Zane Trace Pioneers. That should be a good one. And for Unioto, they'll head back home this Thursday when they host Paint Valley.
Southeastern takes the opening set over Huntington, according to John Bruce, 25-18. Kylie Dunn, a sophomore middle hitter there. Sounds like she's off to a nice start. Appreciate John Bruce and his updates there.
Set number 3 will begin with the Shermans. It's Detweiler. She serves it away. Sowers goes far side for Burns. What a way to start the third set.
See if Adena can get her more involved like they did back in the first set. Like I said, she got caught in the back row quite a bit in that second set.
Bump set from Stanley near side. Dennis back to the Warriors. A nice play by Adena to get it over on the free ball. Now Dennis dug up by Glandon far side. Diving effort from Stanley, that keeps it alive. Now Patterson near side, back to the Warriors now. Sowers back to Unioto. Bats into Dennis with the right hand. Burns spikes it back down. Sherman's over on the first touch. Free ball over by Glandon. Bats in the second touch, back to the Warriors. And a roll shot from Glandon, that's out of bounds. It's 1-1.
Yeah, Adena missed a little bit of an opportunity offensively there. Couldn't quite get in system and get the communication between setter and hitter. And Unioto takes advantage, scores point.
Bump set tight to the net. Glandon just does pop it over the tape. Far side, Watson tools the block for the kill.
Watson's had some success out of that backside. Now she has 4 kills on the evening.
Batson back to serve again. Sowers brings it near side for Burns. Soft touch up over the tape. Now Baxton goes backside looking for Abigail Watson. It's kept alive for Adena. This time Katie Burns sneaks it up over the tape for the kill. It's 2-2.
Yeah, it's really a simple formula. When they pass it on target and it's in rhythm, there's just not a lot you can do with Burns. The way you defend that is you don't let them get there in rhythm. You've got to send something at them that takes them out of their system.
Batson near side. Dennis tools the block for the kill.
It's a good example of sending something at them. Dennis now with 11 kills on the evening.
Ava Patterson back to serve. Bosser rushing for the second touch, unable to get there. An ace for the senior Ava Patterson.
And again, there's an example of it, just something we'll continue to follow as we go. A lot of times it's like the streaky shooter. These kids that have the risk-reward serve, they see one fall in, they get a little bit more confidence in it.
Bossard backs hitting Burns near side, blocked up top by Dennis. It falls on the Warriors side. It's 5-2 Unioto.
Yeah, the 6'1" sophomore getting the long arms extended. Nice job of getting the hands out over the net while staying out of the net.
Bossard tight to the net, front setting for Jones, far side. A diving effort from Patterson keeps it alive. Anderson back into play and a roll shot from Stanley. Bossard to Burns, down the middle, another kill for the senior.
Nice placement from Bossert there. Getting that ball just slightly out in front where Burns could get a good swing on it.
Katie Burns now back to the service line for Adena. Overpasses out of bounds from Libby Anderson. Adena back within one. Batson goes backside. Dennis a bit off the net, sails it over the near sideline. We're tied up at 5.
Yeah, it's something I hadn't really seen on film there. Dennis is from the strong side. I mentioned this earlier in the match. Just really, really athletic and comes in aggressive on that backside. Doesn't seem as confident in the approach.
Batson keeps it near side, pushed over by Anderson with 2. Roll shot from Smith. Back to the Shermans now. Far side, a roll shot from Watson. Batson, a one-handed set pushed over with 2 by Dennis. Now Jones down the middle and a dig from Stanley. Batson to Dennis. Hit it a little bit, but it sneaks in for the kill. Soft and in the middle, I believe. They call it a mashed potato sandwich or something to that effect down in Athens.
Well, I'll tell you it's kind of like you were mentioning baseball. Well, that's kind of like a change up there. Falls in the middle.
Bossert to Jones down the middle. Dug up in the back row by Batson. Now near side, it's Anderson, blocked up top by Jones. Now far side, Watson spikes it off of the tape. What a play by Kimmy Dalton to keep it alive for the Warriors. Now Watson, another swing. She sails it over the back line, and we're tied up at 6.
Just a little too strong there. Would you say mashed potato sandwich?
Yeah, soft in the middle.
Well, I get that. That's an OU thing, you're saying?
I think so. I think that is a Sweet Lou reference from the Convocation Center.
You know, if anyone knows me knows I love a good food reference.
Batson to Detweiler. Dug up by the Warriors. Now Jones flips it up over with the right hand. Near side, Anderson back to the Warriors. She sticks it in for the kill.
Anderson now with 5 kills, and again, Unioto pretty balanced throughout.
I believe Carson Francis was the first person I heard use that term on air, so we'll credit him with that if anything's inaccurate. If it's accurate, I'll take the credit for it. Ellie DePoy back at the service line for Unioto. Bossert keeps it near side. Jones tools the block for the kill. 7-all here in the third.
I like when Jones goes with tempo there. Again, she's so athletic and explosive. Only listed at 5'8". Felt like she plays a little taller than that at the net. And when you go quick like that, the block is late. She's able to tool it.
Batson front sitting, Detweiler down the middle for the kill.
Yeah, again, that quick action, no block. I mean, you give her an open net, and that's not going to end well for you on the other side of the net. Detweiler pushing up towards double figures now. Let's see, I think unofficially 9 on the evening.
Sowers goes to the far side. It's a free ball over by Weisskopf. Now far side on the move. Zoe Detweiler, another kill.
Yeah, a little bit of a slide action. Again, in the 5-1 offense, what you get, Dewey, is when the setter's in the front row, you only have 2 hitters, so it gives us an elite hitter like Detweiler more room to operate. So that slide, she goes in behind, almost like a layup in basketball, and gets a real good swing.
Bump set from Sowers, far side. It's Weisskopf. She pushes it over with 2 and comes away with the kill. (9-8) Unioto leading here in the third set. Smith serves it away. Bump set to Patterson near side. She's into the net. And we're all tied up at 9.
Kayla White into the game. And again, I've seen Kayla play a lot of front row. I haven't seen her yet this evening.
Batson on the second touch up over the tape. Now Burns, a roll shot back to Unioto. Batson to White near side into the back right corner. Kimmy Dalton digs it up for the Warriors. With the right hand, Addison Wisecup unable to get it up over the net. Sherman's the first to double figures here in the third. Detweiler back to serve for the Shermans. Sowers goes to Burns, far side, takes a bit off of it. Shermans keep it alive out of the back row. It's Detweiler. Now Wisecup swinging away, far side overpass from Detweiler. Now an overpass from Adena, nice play in the back row. Incredible rally and a free ball back over to Unioto. Bats into White near side, dug up by Wisecup. Bump set from Smith, and Wisecup pushes it over with 2. Now bats into the back row. Detweiler up over the tape. Wisecup far side, coming away with the kill. One of the longer and more unorthodox rallies we've had tonight.
What Unioto's arguing there on the back row attack, Burns had gone up and hit it, then came down and hit it. They were talking that even though on the back row attack they felt like above the net that was just a block attempt, so coming down. So that's what Unioto's asking for. They're not going to get it.
10-10 tie here in the third set. Batson bump setting near side for Dennis. Dug up by Sowers, Wisecup to Burns for the kill. Warriors retake the lead, 11-10.
Big time swing from Burns, now 18 kills on the evening, and we're only halfway through the third set.
Dalton back to serve it away for the Warriors. Batson brings it near side, Dennis. Caught out of rhythm now, Wisecup setting it up for Burns, blocked at the net by White. Free ball over, dug up by DePoy. Dennis down the lane and a dig from Sowers. Wisecup to the far side for Gland and a roll shot. Nice play in the back row by Anderson to keep it alive. Sowers to Burns with the right hand. White another block. Now Burns back to Stanley. Near side, White swinging away. A diving effort, but an overpass and out of bounds for Kimmy Dalton. 11-all.
Kayla White with a good swing on the outside there. Records the kill.
Batson serves it away for Unioto. Sowers back setting near side. Katie Burns another kill.
Yeah, Burns hitting a really, really high percentage on that first ball over from the opposite side.
Another ace for Allie Bossert. 2-point lead for Adena. Batson tight to the net. Pushed over by Watson. Now Jones a bit off the net, a roll shot over to Unioto. One too many touches for the Shermans. It's 14-11.
Yeah, tough ball, tight to the net. Batsman's trying to bring it back. Dennis was going to her setter, kind of expected it to pop up, and they just a little off.
Bossert, a shallow serve, coming away with another ace. Timeout, Unioto.
Dewey, we talked about risk reward. What I love about Bossert's little floater there, that there's not a whole lot of, she serves it up around 93, 94%, so she's pretty efficient with it. But that short serve right inside that 10-foot line there, that's been a problem for Unioto tonight.
If you're just now tuning in, the Warriors leading Unioto 15-11. here in the third set. 2-0 overall. It was a 25-21 set win and a 26-24 set 2 win for the Warriors. Talking a lot about that second timeout for Laura Smith. In that second set, they trailed Unioto 24-22. After the timeout, they rallied off 4 consecutive points to pull away with the set win. Warriors now in the driver's seat here in the third. Bossert serves it away. Dennis near side into the net. 5-point lead for Adena.
Yeah, and Allie Bossert continues just to cause problems. Remember, I said the other day on the air, doesn't always have to be an ace to be the effective serve.
Batson near side for Dennis. Onto the Warriors side. Burns pushes it over with 2. It'll be a free ball over by Unioto. Bossert to Burns down the lane, blocked up top by Dennis.
They're going to say no touch, so when the ball comes back over, it results in the 4th touch for Adena. But you're right, dude, the block did do a much better job of getting up there and impacting the hitting area.
And an ace from the service line. Kylie Puckett makes it a 3-point game.
Yeah, Puckett getting a chance to serve a little bit here.
Bossert keeps it near side for Burns. The block for Unioto continues to shine. Charlotte Dennis.
You got to get those hands out over the net, or the power of Burns will sneak it down through you.
Bossert goes to the far side. J.C. Jones down the line and a dig from Batson. Now Anderson swinging away near side. Smith digs it up for the Warriors. Katie Burns sneaks it over the tape. A diving effort from Stanley to keep it alive. Roll shot far side from Watson. Now Bossert goes to Jones with the left hand. Just does sneak it inside the antenna. Near side Anderson. Wide of the back left corner at 17-14. Batson goes backside. Dennis unable to keep it between the lines, and the lead is back up to 4 for the Warriors.
These are some big hitting errors from Unioto. You've got Burns going back to serve. If you can get the point to side out here, you're going to have Burns going across the back row and give you an opportunity to get right back in this third set.
Batson to Watson, pushes it over with 2 now. Bossert to Jones with the right hand and a dig from Stanley. Batson bump setting near side for Anderson, unable to get it up over the net. A 19-14 lead here in the third for Adena.
3 straight errors from Unioto, now 19-14. Adena, great opportunity to take the stranglehold on the match.
Batson goes to Dennis, backside, a nice play by Bossert to keep it alive. Free ball over by Dalton. Batson goes right back to Dennis. This time she gets the kill.
Outstanding play from Bossert, and give Unioto credit. They just come right back, and Dennis just keeps on keeping on and comes away with her 13th kill of the evening.
Stanley serves it away for Unioto. Bossert a bump set and a roll shot from Burns. Near side, Anderson sends it over on the free ball. Bossert to Jones with the right hand, blocked up top by Detweiler. Back to the Warriors now. Out of the back row, it's Burns. Dug up by Kylie Puckett in a bump set from Batson. Near side with 2 hands, Anderson pushes it over. Now Glandon swinging away, dug up by Stanley. Zoe Detweiler down the middle, blocked up top by J.C. Jones. Warriors the first to 20 here in the third.
One of my favorite things in sports, too, is to watch teammates get excited when they're not even the one that made the play, but their teammate does. and you can tell a lot about a team's chemistry. You can watch this Adena team play there and really see that they're a pretty close-knit group.
Batson goes backside. Watson down the line, dug up by Ava Farrell. Now Burns out of the back row. She comes away with the kill. 21-15 Adena. Second time out of the set for Unioto.
Still time for Unioto. I know it's 21-15, but you got Burns in the back row there. And again, this Unioto team, really, really good. Probably a little ahead of where I thought they would be this early in the year as I watched them through the summer and then watched them into the early part of this season. But again, they're still got an opportunity here, but they got to come out of this timeout and they got to go. And they're probably going to have to win at least 4 of these next 5 points.
Talked about some of those other South Valley Conference matchups tonight officially. I think you nailed it right on the head in the pregame. It's Zane Trace at Paint Valley, Southeastern at Huntington, and Westfall at Piketon. Also keeping it in Ross County. Chillicothe is in Greenfield taking on McLean tonight.
That Hillsborough-Miami Trace game is interesting. Hillsborough and Chillicothe are 2 schools that are going to try to push Miami Trace. I think Derek Webb, if I'm not mistaken, has updates on Twitter for that one as well.
Far side, Watson a roll shot. Dug up by Bossert, now Burns out of the back row. A dig from Batson. Bump set from Stanley, far side, it's Watson. She gets the kill.
Big point from Unioto. Nice job by Stanley there, who's done some setting in the past. Batson, the setter, was forced to take that first ball. Stanley jumps right in there, delivers a nice, accurate bump set there for Watson to get a swing. And there's the first step that I'm talking about. If you're Unioto, you got to be able to string a couple together, and you could be right back in this thing.
DuPois serves it away for Unioto. Lee Master pushes it over with 2, a free ball. Here on the second touch, Batson, a nice recovery from the Warriors. Katie Burns' roll shot falls in. It's 22-16.
Yeah, it just can't happen if you're Unioto. You had an opportunity to go on offense, couldn't convert, and then just basically a back row roll shot that finds the floor.
Courtney Sowers serves it away. Clipped the top of the net. Detweiler swinging away and a dig from Sowers. Weisskopf sets it up for Lee Master. Stanley keeps it alive. Near side Anderson with 2. Smith right there for the Warriors. Lee Master an attacking chance and a dig from Stanley. Baston goes back to Anderson. Instant replay motion here. It's Katie Burns coming away with another kill.
Big time match from the senior here, having a huge third set.
23-16, Warriors leading the Shermans. Second touch from Batson. Falls out of play. Match point coming up for Adena. Sowers serves it away for Adena. Batson brings it near side. Anderson in the back row and a dig from Burns. Sowers to Weisskopf near side. Kept alive by Unioto. Free ball over by Puckett. Sowers goes to Lee Master down the middle. She gets the kill and that'll end the match. 25-16 the final in the third. A straight set win for the Warriors.
Impressive win for Adena. Much more efficient than they were here on Saturday afternoon. Give Unioto a lot of credit there, right there. The second set gets away from them, or maybe the match could go in a different direction, but then the third set, it was all Lady Warriors as they roll in the straight sets.
Warriors take down Unioto 3-0. We'll take a quick break. Stick around for the post-game show. You've been watching Ohio High School Volleyball here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
It's me, Wednesday Addams. Your life just took a dark turn. I regret to inform you that I have devised the meal of misfortune with Wendy's. It's pure torture for your taste buds, with 4 nightmarish dips of dread. Don't waste my time asking which ones you'll get. You must surrender to your fate. Enjoy the anguish.
And we can.
Back here in Frankfurt, the Warriors a straight set sweep over the Shermans, winning 3-1 here tonight. For the Warriors, they're back in action next Thursday. They'll travel to Zane Trace to take on the Pioneers. For Unioto, they're back home this Thursday as well when they host Paint Valley.
Yeah, tonight, if you look through the stat sheet, when Katie Burns was able to get going, those were the 2 sets that Adena really played out in front and played pretty comfortable. In the second set, I thought Unioto had a lot of things going in its favor, and that's the one they had a chance to steal. They just weren't able to finish there at the end. Katie Burns, 22 kills unofficially. She had 10 of those in the first set, and she had 8 more of them in the third set. So in that second set, she got caught in the back row a little bit more. Unioto was able to take advantage of some of those matchups at the net, but nonetheless, the 22 kills for Burns. And then unofficially, Jones with 7, J.C. Smith with 3, Peyton Leemaster with 2, Addison Wisecup with 2, and then obviously you had some of your other players doing what they do in their specialty role. I thought Landon was good at the net. Bossert, the setter, was really, really good with the serve. Obviously Sowers with the serve as well, and then Dalton and Smith and company back there in the back row. I thought they were a lot cleaner in their passing game. When you go over to the Unioto side, real impressed with Dennis tonight. 13 kills for the sophomore hitter. She plays opposite there of Detweiler. Detweiler also in double figures with 10. Detweiler had a couple blocks. Then you go down through some of the balanced attack. Anderson with 5 kills, White with 1, Patterson with 2, and then Watson, who I thought did a real nice job hitting out of that opposite side in many occasions, was 5 kills. So, Batson, the sophomore setter, spreading it out in the 5-1 offense all the way around. Thought Ellie DePoy was really good with her passing and serving. Puckett with the passing. And you go down through, Patterson had the one little spark with the serve there, and Unioto going around 10 or 11 deep as well. So both coaches utilizing the entire roster. And these, I think you'd agree with me, these are going to be 2 really, really good volleyball teams throughout the year.
And I think overall, for anybody that didn't watch the 3-set match and just sees the score 3-0 after the game, isn't really going to understand how it went. I mean, 2 of the 3 sets you had both teams reach 20, which says a lot about both of these teams and kind of gets you excited about that second matchup, I think in a little over a month at Unioto. So it should be a good one the second time around as well.
Well, you've played sports long enough. You know the Unioto kids and coaches are going to really replay the end of that second set over and over and over tonight. And, look, all you can do is go to the film and learn from it and try to see is there some different things we can do. And the next time you're in that spot, you'll be able to close it out and maybe have a different outcome in the overall. Because, look, you go 1-1 in the match tonight, the momentum swings the other way, and you never know. Maybe we're still playing.
Now, Shane, obviously we mentioned Adena at Zane Trace this Thursday. We've seen the Pioneers once this season against a really, really good Logan Elm team out of the MSL. What do you think we can expect from that one in Kinney Connect in a couple of days?
Well, I think what will happen is Adena goes on the road for the first time. Zane Trace is going to bring a lot of energy. Zane Trace is a team that they bring some kids back, but they're also in a position where they are, it's a situation where they have some kids in new roles, and I think as the year goes on, then you're going to have an opportunity to see them play some really good volleyball. Remember, that's a team that was coming off a regional appearance a year ago, and so should be a lot of confidence, should be a good atmosphere over there.
And Shane, since we saw Zane Trace fall to Logan Elm in straight sets, they've beaten Amanda Clear Creek in 4, Fairfield Union, and McLean in straight sets. So they've had a strong start to their season after that opening afternoon loss to the Braves.
Does it surprise me at all? Again, Carly Snavely, one of the best all-around players in our entire coverage area for SOSA. And again, with some kids stepping into new roles, the more they play, the better they're going to get. I think that Zane Trace team could be a very, very dangerous opponent down the stretch.
And that second matchup between Unioto and Adena is they're actually quite closer together this year than they were last year. That one is only September 18th, so it's not too far away. I think a little over 3 weeks. I think that would be 28 days, or excuse me, 20, something like that. It's a lot closer than what it was last year. September 18th is that matchup in Frenchtown. And obviously Adena every year, it's something we've talked about in the past, is they go play in that Labor Day invitational thing where they get a lot of experience against a lot of good volleyball teams.
Yeah, really, really good programs. And, that's always been a staple. They'll do some traveling on the weekend. And remember what we talked about in scheduling. That's one of the reasons they save some of those, because when they go and do some of those things, they're playing, up to 3 matches in a day. And no, they'll be pushed for sure, and they'll be battle tested. And that's what'll make it exciting to see them not only compete throughout this league gauntlet where they're start on everybody's schedule, but also into the tournament. And you talk about league races. According to Derek Webb, Hillsborough leads Miami Trace 2-0. So Miami Trace had been that team, and they were hit by graduation a little bit, but everyone thought Hillsborough and Chillicothe would push them a little bit more this year. And I think that's an indication that there's some parity there in the FAC. And again, I think we're going to get some parity in the SVC, because even though these two are, in my opinion, the most talented teams, you mentioned some of these other teams, the Zane Trace. John Bruce is over in that Southeastern Huntington. I think they're going to be a dangerous team as you go. Westfall played Circleville to the brink. So my point is, every Tuesday, every Thursday, it seems like you turn on the scoreboard and you see a lot of really, really competitive volleyball scores.
Now, Shane, one final preview before we get out of here. What do you think we can expect from Unioto and Paint Valley this Thursday as well?
Well, I think you'll see Unioto really try to respond. I think Paint Valley is a little bit of an older volleyball team. They did get a non-league win the other night. That they're trying to establish themselves in a more competitive situation in the league. It's a tough draw for them this week, coming out with Zane Trace and then Unioto. So I'll be interested more than the actual score to recognize how does Unioto respond, from a mental and physical energy standpoint. When you come off tonight, it's a tough loss, especially the way you lost that second set was kind of a gut punch, we say. How can they shake that off, come right back to the practice floor tomorrow, learn from it, and come out Thursday night and play a much better, much more, I shouldn't say better, but a much more complete match.
Alrighty, well, that'll wrap up our coverage of Ohio high school volleyball here tonight from Frankfort. Adena picking up the straight set win over Unioto. For Shane Combs, I'm Dewey Daly saying so long from Adena High School. You've been watching Ohio high school volleyball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.